In a couple of weeks back, it was a lot of press about Nick Cannon, Deshaun Jackson, and Ice Cube, where they were saying some, I guess, there were anti-Semitic things that they were saying, and so I'm just ignorant to the fact. I don't know what anti-Semitism is. That Semitism. I don't know exactly what that is. So that's why I reached out to you. I wanted to get a better understanding of what does that exactly mean, and what is that exactly? Can you explain?
Sure. Anti-Semitism is any kind or any form of anti-Jewish talk, actions, any kind of insinuation to belittle and cause hate to the Jewish people.
Okay.
Yeah, anti-Semitism is
put
been around.
It a little closer.
Anti-Semitism has been around for since pretty much since beginning of time, and that's a conversation that we can have. Maybe that in and of itself, but the reason why anti-Semitism is so dangerous, besides personally being Jewish and a rabbi that it affects me, is it's usually a precedent that there's other things coming down the line. Anti-Semitism would be kind of an effect and not the actual cause. Bigotry is a bigger problem. Any kind of hate is a huge problem. Unfortunately, the Jewish people have had to deal with that for thousands of years since they've been a nation, and it usually doesn't end there. So anti-Semitism in and of itself is a terrible thing and should never be tolerated. And I think that is a terrible, terrible thing. But we can't forget that there's a bigger issue at play, that someone who is anti-Semitic isn't just an anti-Jew person. There's hate in their heart.
Right.
And that's really what needs to be dealt with, right? If someone is, God forbid, sick, you can deal with the effect that they have, but you'd rather get to the root of the sickness so that you can eradicate it completely. Otherwise, you're just going to be dealing with symptoms again and again and again.
Okay. So anti-Semitism is just basically hate speech or towards Jewish people, right? Okay. And can you explain to me, because I listened to the full interview that Nick Cannon said. I didn't really pay attention to what Ice Cube said and Deshaun Jackson. What exactly what Nick Cannon said, or what did he do that was anti-Semitic?
I think what's between all three of them is insinuating certain tropes, which are certain ideals that have been pushed for a long time in this anti-Semitic culture, which is that Jews are trying to dominate the world and take over the world, that they run the banks and they have all the money and that they make all the decisions and everything is only just to benefit them. And that is completely false. I like to say, when people ask me about that, the only domination that we're looking for is to dominate the world with goodness and kindness. That's about as far as we are looking for world dominion. And that's it. The idea that we control the banks and that we control this or that and that we have this ulterior motive is completely false. And I know he apologized, and I know Deshaun Jackson kind of had to walk what he said back, and there was that very interesting dialogue between him and Julian Edelman, which was great. And I think, when those things are said, anti-Semitic tropes are repeated, you have to deal with it right away. Because it's almost like, for example, when a child says something, they want to test the waters. Oh, I got away with this. Okay, then I'm going to push it, and I'm going to get away with that, and then I'll get away with that. Well, in this case, these have real life consequences. God forbid, people can get killed, damage to property, who knows what. So that's why when these things were said, right away, these things were taken immediately and dealt with.